I'm talking today to yoga instructor Maytal Bat-Or. Hi Maytal, how are you?
Hello, Joanne. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. Maytal, can you tell me what is yoga and a little bit about your personal journey to becoming a yoga instructor?
Wow. Well, let's start with the first one. What is yoga? When we say the word yoga, when practitioners say the word yoga, they mean, most of us, the state of mind when the mind is silent and you are one with the spirit. And there are no borders of the mind between the inner self and the outer life. There is a direct experience, as Patanjali said, there is a direct experience of that moment. In the present, you can feel the present as it is, without the idea about how the present should be, or how do you comprehend yourself. Is about freedom of this information, and then the inner spirit is one with life. So this is the state of mind of the yoga. This is beyond the thought or underneath the thought and in the direct experience. So, and the practice is very, very large practice. It is not only the asanas, the postures, as most people, when they say yoga, they think asanas, they think postures of the body. The postures of the body can be a tool for you to release dense emotions inside of you, so you can be again free from those past experiences and feel the present and be in that moment as it is without past ideas about how this moment should be. So basically the practice of the physical practice can be acrobatic and stay that, or it can point you to the inner self, releasing energy that is interrupting you feeling your inner self, and then it is yoga. So the asanas is one aspect of how to get closer to your inner free self, free spirit, and be one with life. Another practice is reading for inspiration. And again, it can be just literature, or it can point you to the inner self and anything that is blocking you in seeing this present moment. And then it is called mantra. And then it's called scriptures. Any scripture can be a scripture or mantra if it makes your mind silent.
And how did you become involved in yoga?
Say again, I didn't hear you.
How did you become involved in yoga?
Well, that's a very funny and not funny story. I was spending time in India about 10 years ago, and I had a motorcycle accident and I broke my coccyx, and then I met in the Himalaya, I met this yoga teacher. He was living in the woods. He's a German guy living with a Spanish woman in a little hut in the forest of the Himalaya. And every morning I used to climb up the window of the hostel and go after him by the river and practice. But I think we were practicing more of the physical practice and I couldn't understand what was the meaning, so I got bored. Then I met my teacher, Shimon Ben Avi, and he started showing me what is those physical practices and disciplines pointing at my inner self. And when I found this wisdom, I kept on practicing, and the world started to open up. And then people started to come and ask me to teach them, and that's how I started to teach. And since then, I lived in many places in Europe, in Israel. And when people ask somebody to teach, then that person becomes a teacher, not a moment before.
And is yoga only for adults?
Well, yoga is for everybody. In ancient times, yoga was only for the highest, um, it's called Brahmin, the highest kasta, they call it in India. And then about 100 years ago, a man called Krishnamacharya said, this is an error that yoga, the way for inner liberation, is for everybody. So yoga, you can teach anybody if you're pointing at their inner self. And if it's that time for that person to experience his free spirit, then it is time to learn. And it doesn't matter which age that person is. You're asking about because you want to know about yoga for children, or?
Can children do yoga?
I think children, most of them up till the age of 5, are in the state of mind of yoga. They're already one with everything. And I think the main thing, what I'm trying to say is, depends on what you do. If you teach a child meditation, then it is probably will be the right path for him. But if you teach it as a game, and his mind will have this information that yoga is a game, then in one point in his life when he would need this tool to be released from emotional density, he will not be able to use this tool. So you are basically, as my teacher once said, you are burning the bridge before you could climb on it. So I would be careful with this. I would say you have to be very gentle when you teach yoga, and be very in inner clarity of what did you come to do here, because it can be confusing also for teachers. They're starting to teach the exploring of their mind and life, and really yoga is way deeper than the personal teacher's life. It is a path for inner liberation from that personal character.
And what can a person expect when they come and have a yoga session?
When they have a yoga session, they, I think, expect to be deeper within themselves, and I hope to release information that doesn't serve them in this current everyday life. And that is by practicing the mental meditation and deepening the observation within, and practicing energetic practice that can dissolve the energy that is dense in the body, by practicing either a dynamic practice or more relaxed practice. This is for each one to explore. You know, in those days they say, oh, Ashtanga is this and Shivananda is that. But actually, when you're pointing at the inner self, it doesn't matter which practice you take for your physical practice, whatever is better for you. In yoga, you actually choose your teacher.
For somebody like me who's never done yoga before, okay, so when I think of yoga, I think of going to a class and doing a whole lot of poses and positions and exercise moves. So is that what happens, or is it just sitting and meditating?
Oh, no. As I said, and I think in this era you should work hard with your body, because there is a lot of emotional skills in the consciousness in this time of age. And you would work with your body, I hope. It depends with which teacher you're going. But I hope you will work with your body to move the energy that is blocked in your body, that is blocking your mind, and is blocking you from experiencing this moment. So you will work with your physical body, energetic body, to release emotions that are held in the body in order for you to feel the flow of life. So yes, you will expect, I think, meditation, pranayama, which is energetic work within your inner body, working with your body dynamically as much as possible is for my taste, but it's really okay. And again, finishing with some inspirational story maybe that can help you release your mind.
And what equipment do I need for a yoga lesson?
Nothing. A yoga mat that you would not sleep, you would feel safe to jump and return to be under 5 years old. and just feeling comfortable with the comfortable clothes. And I think the most important thing in yoga is remembering that you're choosing a teacher and not choosing a method or a studio, which is irrelevant. When you find a teacher that is making you gaze inwards into the silence and space within you, then you found your teacher. And it doesn't matter if he tells you to jump or walk, if he tells you to sit or stand, because when you find your teacher, you find the person that is reaching into your heart and for you to open your heart again into life.
Thank you, Maytal. Thank you so much for speaking to me today.
Thank you very much, and I'll see you more. Thank you.